Good morning. As you get here, make sure that you say good morning so that I know you're here. And I'm going to pull this up on my phone really quick so I can make sure I can see you guys. Miss Hope, anyway. All right. All right. I think I got it set. So it's a gorgeous morning this morning, even though it's already with the humidity and everything. It's already pretty warm. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning. Great to have you here. And the thing is, yesterday I noticed as I was out walking that even though it's still really warm, good morning, Janet. Good to see you. It feels almost like you can tell that the seasons are about to change, that, there's something different in the air. And I don't know if it's the fact that the kids were getting on the school bus or if it's the way the wind was blowing. I don't know. But for some reason, it was like this morning and yesterday as I was walking, the thought I felt was that fall is in the air, even though it's still really, really hot. Not in Miami. I bet not. I bet not. Like I said, it's still really hot, but there was just a difference in the breeze. I don't know. Maybe it was. I can't even tell you, and it's probably could totally be my imagination. Oh, you agree too? Okay. All right. So it's not just me, but it's like, and it's funny because um to me, I always could feel a difference in things right when school started. Of course, when I was in elementary and middle school and high school, all the school years, the school's year didn't start till after Labor Day, and yeah, after Labor Day. And so it feels like it's really, really early, and it feels like it gets earlier and earlier all the time. So I was shocked that August 1st was the first day of school here, and it was like, what? That's still summertime. Well, this morning there was a song that coming to my mind, and I had to look it up because I could hear the lyrics in my mind, but I couldn't hear the voice of the person. I don't Has that ever happened to you? It doesn't start until late August there. Okay, well, ours started on the 1st. Kids are out at the bus stop, so it's definitely feels different. And maybe it's that made me feel like it was different, but it felt like it was the air, something in the air. All right, so now what was I just saying? Oh, I was listening to, or I was thinking about the lyrics of a song this morning. And you know how that happens sometimes. I'm assuming it happens to you guys too. I mean, I'll be doing something, all of a sudden these song lyrics will pop in my mind and they'll fit with whatever I need to do, and I'll carry on. And sometimes I can't remember what the song is, but there's just a little piece of the lyrics. And so I ended up right before I got on here, I I googled this one little piece of the lyric that kept just running through my mind, and it was um, the my gift is my song, and I sing it for you. And I could hear that part, but I couldn't hear them singing it. But I knew that it was a song, and it ends up it's one of the songs that I used to love all the time, which is "Your Song" by Elton John. And once I looked it up, then all of a sudden I could hear it. Isn't that weird how the mind and the memory and all that stuff works with that, right? And so it was, in this song, he's written the song, and it's a gift to the person, right? But when you think about it, our song, our voice, our ideas, our inspirations, the things that we do, those are all a gift that we give, right? We give to ourselves, but we give out, right? Does that make sense? Hold on a second. Let me look over here. Well, hello, Daisy. I see you over there on Instagram. It's great to have you here this morning. Haven't seen you in forever. I do see you, your family photos and everything on Facebook quite a lot with your growing family, and I'm so excited for you. It's a beautiful, beautiful family you have there, and I miss seeing you. I'll have to connect with you sometime soon because I miss it. I miss it. I really do. Janet says, yes, and I love music. Yes, yes. So our gift is our song. And like Daisy, who is on Instagram right now, she's actually a fellow hairstylist. And so her gift is the how she helps her clients and how she has this amazing family. And she is just uh, an amazing parent. I see all the things that she's doing. And so she has a lot of music in her too, right? And as well as like Carrie, you and Janet, as you're there, that it is our gift, is our song, right? So let me grab the affirmation for you this morning. And so this all came from those lyrics popping in my head this morning. So hold on a second. I'm going to share. Oh, it's taking its time. Okay, there. I think we're good now. Let's see. So this is today's affirmation. My unique voice and experiences are powerful gifts I choose to share with the world. Doesn't that feel good? And so it's just looking at the power of your voice and your experiences, right? Because they're all very powerful. Our stories, our song, our gifts, what we share. And, if you share stories with people about things that you've done in your life, and it inspires them to think, wow, if she can do that, I can do that. Maybe it inspires them to try something that they've never tried. That's an amazing gift, right? And every time we share our song, our stories, our unique voice, our experiences, every single time that we share those with someone, we're giving them a gift. And so we're gift giving people, right? We're all the time sharing some type of gift with someone. And most of the time, we don't even realize that it's a gift that we're giving. We just think we're talking, but it's a gift. And you've heard stories before about someone having a conversation with someone at random, like at a bus stop or something, and to find out later that that person was feeling like life wasn't worth living, and nobody noticed them, nobody cared or anything. And that one conversation changed things for them, even though it was only a conversation. So you never know when you're utilizing your voice and your gifts and your talents, what difference you're making for someone else. And the fact that you are using your God given abilities to affect change, even though that might not be your intent in the moment, but it's always doing something. It's always changing. Because remember, the only constant in life is change. So everybody is always changing. They're either changing on purpose or they're changing by default. And so every time that you have a conversation with someone, every time you use your voice, your experiences in a conversation with someone, you've changed them. Every time you have an interaction with someone, you change them. There's little bits and pieces of each of us that are in other people that we've come in contact with. Just think about that for a minute. That there are people all over the place, no matter how old you are, and I'm a little bit older. Um, the thing is that if you think about, if every person that you spoke to and every person that you actually touched in some way, whether it was just a tap on the shoulder, if it was a smile, you've left a piece of you with them. And then they've left a piece of themselves with you. All right, let me see what's going on over here. So doesn't that feel amazing? And and I've likened it to and it's a weird analogy, but I've likened it to a commercial that I used to see when I was a teenager on TV, and it was about STDs. Okay, I'll just go ahead and say that. And they would show a couple hugging and kissing, and then they would show like them lying in the bed after the fact, right? And they would say, you're not just in bed with this person, you're in bed with the person that they were with, the person that they were with, the person that they were with. And then at the end, they would have like this screen full of people, right? Now that's talking about an STD. But when you look at it in a different way, is that it's almost the same thing. It's just we're not having sex with all of them, right? Well, maybe, I don't know. The thing is that every person that we come in contact with, we actually, you remember that one? Yeah. I don't know why that's been in my mind so much lately, Janet. But the thing is that that's where in that commercial, right, it's that everybody that they've been in contact with and that person's been in contact with, that affects us today, right? So we're looking at this in a totally different way, that every time we interact with anyone, period, we affect the next person that they interact with, the next person that they interact with, right? And so when we look at it, if we had a wall full of screens and all the people that we've ever had some kind of interaction with were up there, and then we had another set of screens showing all the future people that we were going to interact with just by sharing our gifts, our talents, our voice. Oh my gosh. Can you just imagine? And like anybody that doesn't know that commercial, it's like they would show one little picture and another little picture, and then there would be a few more attached, and then it'd be filling up, and filling up. And so just imagine for just a moment that you exercise your God-given abilities, your unique voice and your experiences, and you share them out, right? Even if it's a little tiny, tiny share, it doesn't matter. It's still a share, a touch, an expression, right? And what if you could just talk to this person in front of you, and suddenly you could just see this litany of pictures that come out and show all the people that they're going to affect because of this thing that you said or did. Wow, wouldn't that be amazing? So I want you to just, in your imagination, the next time you have some type of interaction with someone that you're sharing your gift, your talent, something, right? Even if it's just your smile and affecting their day, I want you to envision in your mind the screen with all the little pictures popping up of all the people that they're going to affect in a positive way just because you did or said what you just did. It's this ripple out. It's like dropping a pebble in the ocean. You don't even see the effects of it, but it affects it for miles and miles and miles. It can even affect the entire ecosystem of the ocean because you dropped a pebble in it. So, see, every time you do something, it has this effect. But most of the time, we don't even recognize that. And so, what I'm really wanting you to do today is start seeing the effect that just you being the amazing you that you are affects people. Do you see it? Can you see it? Do you want to see it? I mean, it's so profound. And maybe think, let me see. True. Yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. So just think about maybe, is there a time just in the past week or so that you've had a conversation with someone and they said, oh my gosh, I haven't thought of that? Or thank you for sharing. Is there something that comes up that you can remember just in the past week, 2 weeks, or whatever, that someone has really been thankful for something that you shared? Yes, this morning. Oh, Carrie, good. I love that. Do you want to expand on that, or is it private? Yes, last week. All right. So just think about it. That one conversation, and in your mind, just close your eyes and visualize that moment when you realized it was a profound or an inspirational conversation. It made a difference for them. And then just see all the different people's pictures pop up. And they don't even have to have faces on them because you don't know them, everybody that person is going to interact with, because it doesn't have to be just that day. They could be talking about this for a long time. And then somebody that they talk to says, well, I heard this story. I heard this. And it just ripples out and you can see those faces every time. Can you imagine that right now? The difference that could have made? Let's see here. Spoke to the maintenance guy on the church at the church I go to, and he went to a men's group on Wednesday and the service on Sunday. Oh, nice, Janet, nice. And just think of all the people that guy will be interacting with or has interacted with since the day you talked to them. Just think about it. And then he went to the men's group on Wednesday and the service on Sunday, and every person that he interacted with was different because of you. And it's not that we have this huge responsibility that we want to be taking all this stuff with people and infecting them and everything. It's that we have this almost this obligation to share our gifts and talents, right? We were given these gifts and talents, and when we actually share our voice and share everything, then it becomes this this compulsion almost, in a way, to share, to help, right? Carrie says, I was feeling kind of down and my friend called, we spoke, and I feel much better. Yes. Yes. And so see, that ripple has come to us because they spoke to you when you were feeling down, and then you're telling us about it. So it may be that later today, something will come up and somebody will say, well, I was talking this morning and somebody was saying that a friend had called and spoke and they felt better. And see, so we'll be rippling this out further. And Janet says, yes, he has volunteered his gifts to the church. of helping on the grounds of the church. Beautiful, beautiful. So even though these were little small things, when you think about it, they can have profound effects. And that's what every interaction we have does. It's like, that's why I think it's so important. Like when we go to the grocery store and the cashier is standing there, we look them in the eye and we call them by name because most of the time their name tag's there. And then if I don't know how to pronounce the name, I'll say, how do you pronounce that? And just get in a conversation. What does that name mean? And just ask them questions and just smile. If you're genuinely interested in people, which I'm assuming if you are here and you're part of this group, you are genuinely interested. I don't think there's a single one of us in this group that is so self-centered that we could care less about other people. And so think about it. Just by the things that you two have had experience this morning and this past week, that changes things, right? It changes you, it changes them. And the same thing goes when you're out and about and you're doing things. We're constantly affecting people. Constantly. Like yesterday, my daughter and I we haven't done this in a while. We used to go to coffee shops all the time and we would take a book or I'd take my laptop and we would work at the coffee shop and just enjoy being in a different space, right? And the smells of the coffee. And one that I like to go to is actually a art gallery and a coffee shop, but they are also a arts and entertainment place. Janet says, I love to talk to strangers, older people in the store. I always tell my grandkids, you might be the only one who has spoken to them. Yes, I agree, Janet. Beautiful. And it has lasting effects. Even though we don't see that, we know it does, right? And so like this coffee shop is an art gallery, and they are also an arts center, I guess you would say. So I even yesterday, when I was there, I was talking to the barista and asking some questions. And I know she is doing plays and a lot of things because it's, like I said, it's a big arts hub. And so she does a lot of acting in plays and things because I've heard her talking about it before. My daughter used to work at this coffee shop. And so as I was talking to her, I said, and those that know me are going to recognize why I asked this question. I said, I know that the Art Center does a lot of acting classes and things like that. Do they do improv by any chance? And she said, yes, they do. So those of you that know me and have been part of some of the things that I've had in the past month or two, you know that Laura Westman and I were doing some amazing things together, and she's an improv instructor. And so I thought, maybe that's one of the things that I want to check into. So I got their little card, and I'm going to call and check because they have it's a program where you go once a week or whatever, and then you have a performance at the end. So I don't know when it starts or anything like that, but I'm going to check into it and just see what comes up. So it has I don't know. It's just, I think it would be kind of fun. It's just what when it starts, what the times are, because a lot of times where I get caught up is, I still have my day job. And then I do my coaching, my hypnosis, all of this, when I'm not working. And so I don't know what their schedule is, if it's something that's in the middle of the day, and if it's on a normal working day. I'm not sure if I'll be able to work it out, but I'm not arguing for my limitations. I will go ahead and share that. I'm just saying that it's something that I want to do, but it's not such a deep drawing that I would change everything about my schedule. So we'll just see if it fits into what I'm already doing, then it'll be a good fit. But if it doesn't, then it's not the right time. And that's one of the things I've learned is that sometimes I can overextend myself because I want to do so much, right? And then I end up not getting as much accomplished. I end up getting sick, right? And so I'm looking at things as, even though I really want to do that, it may not be the right time. And I'm open to allowing it to come at the right time. That's all I'm saying. But it was so cool to have that conversation with her and find out that yes, they do have that, and I didn't even realize that they did. They have art classes, and I know acting classes and everything in this area, and it's about 25 minutes from my house. Actually, the actual coffee shop art gallery is. I have no idea where they do the other stuff. All right, so let me look at this. All right, let me copy and paste this stuff so that I can share. All right, beautiful. All right, so remember, our affirmation today is my unique voice and experiences are powerful gifts I choose to share with the world. And we've talked a lot about how just sharing our gifts and our talents and our experiences can make a profound difference for other people, right? And it can make a profound difference for ourselves. So make sure you put that on your index card, your sticky note, your screensaver on your phone. Put it as the with on your mirror with a chalk marker. I don't care where you put it, but put it somewhere that today you are reminded that you do have a unique voice and experiences that are powerful gifts, right? And then let me show you the journal prompt for today. All right. So the journal prompt is: reflect on a moment when sharing your story or expressing yourself authentically made an impact. Now, you already, thank you, Janet. You already gave a couple of ideas about you expressed yourself and, things changed. So let's look at that a little bit more. Maybe there are a lot of times that happens for you. And so, what I would like you to do is when you take the time today to get your journal out, get your notebook out, whatever you're doing all this in. And for me, it's this little journal right here. And so you put the date, put the affirmation, and the journal prompt, and then you spend a moment to just quiet your mind and get silent and start bringing in that God voice, that voice within you, right? And just take some breaths so that your mind gets quiet. So you're not sitting there breathing, thinking, okay, I wonder what time so and so is supposed to call. I wonder what I'm going to have for lunch. I wonder, because that's what our mind does, is it doesn't want to quiet. It wants to stay busy so we don't think. And, there's a lot of people that are very uncomfortable in silence, because when you have silence, it does create this chatter in your mind. And if you can stop the chatter, the things that it will bring up for you can be so profound. But a lot of people are not ready for the profoundness of their own being. But I think if you're here, you are. And so give yourself the opportunity today, as you're doing all this reflection, to just be open to the profoundness of who you are, your God self, your place in this world, because we're not just here taking up space, breathing air, a meat suit, right? No, there's a reason that we're here, interacting with the people that we're interacting with, having the thoughts that we're having. There's a reason to all of it. And we may not know just the tiniest piece of what that reason is. And so I want you to be open to all the possibilities and just give yourself the grace of silence. And then when you get to that silent, quiet place, that's when you reflect on a moment when sharing your story or expressing yourself authentically made an impact. And you write them all down, just brain dump as many as come up, because you're going to be amazed if you really, really can get inside. You're going to find that there are so many impactful things that you've done or said that you didn't even realize. And like I've said before, when you do this and you get really quiet and you can just be, the first things that come up are things that your subconscious mind has been holding on to. And make sure you let it out. Do not judge a doggone thing that comes up. Just brain dump whatever's there. Just write it all out. No judgment. It's just for you. And you might be quite surprised at what your subconscious mind comes up with. Because most of the time, it knows so much more than you even realize. Now, it can have some false beliefs in there too, because remember, the things that our subconscious mind has are through a filter of our experiences from 0 to 7. But man, oh man, if you can let it share with you, you'll get a lot of insights that just sitting and thinking about memories will not do. And so I want you to bring that subconscious mind in, those thoughts, those fleeting thoughts, write them down. And then when you get a lot of things written down, and for some people it might not be a lot, but for most people it'll be quite a bit, because, we're not 15, usually, not most of us anyway. But what initial reservations did you overcome, and what motivated you to open up? So like with Janet and Carrie today, like Carrie, what motivated you to open up to your friend? And Janet, what motivated you to open up to this gentleman at the janitor? Didn't you say it was a janitor? What motivated you to open up to them? And sometimes it's a look. And sometimes it's somebody shares a bit of their story with you, and then you can share a bit of yours. And that's one of the things I love about my podcast. I have people on there from, so many different walks of life, different countries. You were very upset. Okay. And that enabled you to open up. Beautiful. So it was at the right time in the right place, right? Maintenance man, he has spoke of his life. That was it. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful, Carrie. I love that. And you have that intuition within you too. I know most of us do if we pay attention to it. There are times that I haven't thought about someone for quite a while, and all of a sudden I think, I really need to call them. And I'll call them and they'll say, "Oh, I'm so glad you called today." And it's not like I thought, I bet they need me. No, it was like, I feel like I need to call them. And so it's so amazing when we are open to all of this, how it all transpires, right? We carry so many gifts within us that if we would just start freely and openly sharing and talking to people using our voice, man, oh man, what a difference we could make. Doesn't that feel good to think of? So, Carrie, this person made a difference for you. And then just think now there'll be somebody that you're going to make a difference for too. And I told you, Carrie, if you need me, all you have to do is send me a message, right? Beautiful. Thank you for that, Janet. Absolutely. Yes, Carrie. You know, there are so many times that we quiet our voice. We quiet ourselves because we question, whoa, are they going to be receptive? You know, maybe they'll think I'm silly. We spend a lot of internal time laboring over whether to speak up and talk or not. And, you know, for me, like I go into the grocery store, just as an example, I will talk to about anybody. My daughter used to get a little aggravated sometimes. She'd say, "Oh my gosh, Mom, we've got to go. And you're standing here having this conversation with this woman about the soup aisle." And it was like, I don't know. And so I've been raised as a hairstylist, right? So I can talk to just about anybody, right? And so if somebody makes eye contact with me and they smile, I'll say hello. And then some people want to just keep going. That's all they need. But then you can tell there are some people that just want to have a conversation. So I do. And so there was a time that I could do that in the salon, but I couldn't really do that outside of the salon. I could do it with the people I knew. But the thing is that I felt like I was being intrusive if I spoke to them and they didn't know me and I didn't know them. And there were a few times because I had that feeling that that's the reaction they would have, because I would say hi or something and then they would give me this look like, why are you talking to me? But once I changed it to where I realized that, you know, sometimes people need that, and that by speaking to people, I was just sharing a little bit of me and my gifts, then it changed where I very seldom ever have anyone that seems aggravated. Normally, even if they don't want to have a conversation, they'll say hello or something like that, but you can always tell, right? And so it's amazing when you can be open. My granddaughter told me when she was little, I should be careful talking to strangers. She said, stranger danger. Great advice, right? But in some ways, we've gotten so into stranger danger, and especially when you think about since the pandemic and being the lockdown and being in isolation, there's a lot of people that are afraid to get close to someone. They're afraid to talk to someone. I remember during all of that stuff, I went to the grocery store one day and we were wearing masks and we were doing all the hand sanitizer and stuff. But there was a woman that was taking an exorbitant amount of time standing in front of this thing of carrots, right? And all I wanted to do was get a bag of carrots. And I had said, excuse me, and she didn't move. So I reached around her to get a bag of carrots. And this woman about bit my head off because I was invading her space. Now, it was not that dire anymore. And I only had on a mask because the grocery store still said you had to wear one. But man, oh man, this woman just bit me a new one, right? And I could have let that keep me from speaking up or having conversation with people for a very long time if I had chosen to. But unfortunately, that was the experience a lot of people had, and they started stepping back and not talking, not reaching out, not being friendly. I mean, there are some young kids, I've had some in the salon that were afraid to talk to people or touch someone because of all of that stuff. And so there's a lot of stuff that it would be great if we could redo, right? To change. And so maybe by us speaking to someone and smiling and interacting, making eye contact, then we're changing that little piece of them that's afraid to speak up. I told her I was old enough to know. That's funny. So I want you to consider, how can you bring that same openness and courage into your life today? So what can you do today to share your story, express yourself authentically? What can you do today? How can you bring that same openness and courage into your life today? What say you? All right, let's see here. Working from home, I definitely go out of my way to say hello to people. Living in new place, people. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. Thank you, Janet. Oh, and one of the things that's interesting as I was going through this audience accelerator program with Stacey Lauren, one of the things that we were doing yesterday was I talked about reflecting on something that had happened recently by helping people with ideas that may not have thought of. Oh, yes, I love that, Carrie. I love that. Is that, and one of the things that the questions I was asked was, what gets me excited? And it's being in this group, it's being with you guys gets me excited every single day. And when I get up, my first thoughts are you guys. I'll be honest. And then I start contemplating, okay, what's coming up for me? And then I'll listen to some YouTube videos, or I'll listen to a podcast, or I'll listen to an audiobook while I'm getting ready. And it always gets something flowing. And then, like I said this morning, this all came from the fact that I woke up, I was thinking of you guys, and then the lyrics to that song popped in my head. My gift is my song, and I'll sing this for you. So there's always something about you guys that get me going, right? And I love that, even though there's not a lot of people on here this morning, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. The right people are here. And then, the people that also need this, that couldn't make this time, they'll watch the replay. There's so much joy and excitement that I get for being here with you. And it makes me realize how much I love sharing my ideas in my voice. And the fact that you receive it and you get so much from it, just warms my heart. I cannot even express how much it means to me that you guys show up. And not only show up, but you interact and you get gifts from the things that I share. And see, the thing I want you to understand is that anytime you're talking to someone and you're sharing, you're giving that gift to them too. We're full of amazing gifts that most of the time we hold on to for fear of judgment, fear of ridicule or fear of it not landing. And I can say many times in my life, those thoughts have kept me from speaking up, kept me quiet. And that's when I started my podcast, was because I was so tired of filtering everything I said, depending on who I was talking to. Oh, thank you, Janet. Thank you. Thank you, Carrie. And so I'm giving you this gift today. My gift is my song, and I'm sharing it with you. And see, that makes me tear up because I love you guys. And so, just so you all know, and if you're watching on Instagram, you're watching on YouTube, and you're not part of the Stand Up and Stand Out community, I would love to invite you to be part of it. All you have to do is go to VickyPoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and you'll be asked to answer some questions. And once you do, you'll be in the group. And I'm telling you, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And we've got a campfire chat coming up on, is it Thursday? Oh, yes, Thursday at 7 p.m. with Sue Anderson. She's going to be here sharing, and I'm so excited to share that with you. And then I'm also going to be sharing one of the amazing things that helped me on this journey with the podcast and everything, and it's the Find Your Voice. I'm going to be offering that challenge out, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. And I'm telling you, there's something about being part of Find Your Voice that just gets you. It's not just about finding your voice that you share. It's the inner voice. It's the inner guidance. It helps you find so much. It gives you such a greater perspective. Oh, Janet, thank you. Thank you, Carrie. I love you guys too. And you're both awesome. You're both awesome. And I always feel like I am blessed in so many profound ways that I can't even count all my blessings. But I would count you guys at the top of the list. So thank you for being here and sharing with me today. And I would love to hear what's coming up for you. If you want to share in the group, send me a private message. Whatever works for you, I'm here for you. And, Carrie, we're all friends here too. You can reach out to us. All right. So I have to pop off here, but remember what tomorrow, yes, I don't even know what day today is. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so I will be here at 9 a.m. Eastern, once again with an affirmation and a journal prompt. And so for today, sing your song, share your gift. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Love you guys.